Hello, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today? I am doing well. Just one second. Okay, just a second. All right, just wanted to say hi to my girls. All right, so good day in baseball yesterday. 5-1. Happy camper. But as you know, we start with our gold, and we're very excited. Gold has kept its over 2,500. It did go down at 2 in the morning to 24.98 for some reason. If you notice, there's no 6 o'clock derivative. There's no 8 o'clock derivative. At 10, about 11 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, the U.S. didn't do anything. About 11 o'clock, they ran their derivatives, knocked it down to 25.05. And now that's cleaned up and it's back to 25.13. So we did see 25.29 today. So I thought, well, oh my God, we're going to see 2,600 real, sooner than I thought. But they'll play a little dance. But I don't see the put options derivatives like we saw at 24.80 down to 23.60. You're not going to see that anymore. So we're in cruise control. I was watching one of these shows, and the guy is such an idiot. I don't really want to say the name and embarrass him, but he's worried about price controls on gold. And like, we have a price control on gold. They can't keep the price down. And the thing you got to realize is gold's international. It's Russia, it's China. If they want the price of gold up, the price of gold's up. You can say, well, in the U.S. it's this. No. It's not. That's not how it's done. So, and then he was trying to figure out about barter, and he said, well, it's not the value of the thing, it's the weight. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's like he's very clueless. No, barter is based on value. So if you saw that movie, Are We There Yet, with Ice Cube, and his tires go flat, and he brings out the Yao Ming rookie card, the refractor that was worth a lot, and he was able to exchange that card for 4 tires. It's the value has to be a free trade that both people benefit from. He got the 4 tires. The guy with the tires got the card, which is worth more than the tires. Everybody's happy. It's not about the weight of the gold or the weight of the silver versus the value of it. It is strictly value. And we're not going to have barter anyway. I don't understand these people. They're so stupid. Why would we have barter? We're going to have money. So you're telling me the U.S. government, when the U.S. dollar goes out, it's not going to have U.S. dollar too. or US dollar backed by gold or something. Really? They're just going to not have a market anymore. Well, guess what? Communism doesn't work without money. Communism is about making the leaders rich. As you can see, the guy in Venezuela and Stalin was rich, and China, the Z's rich, but all the public is poor. That's communism. So if you really want to vote for Kamala Harris and get communism, good luck. You don't want that, believe me. You want free market. You want to be able to make money and keep it and everything. So again, I just kind of laugh at the guy, and he comes across like he knows what he's talking about. But if I know what I'm talking about and I know you're full of shit, I'm calling you out on it, which is what I do. And I don't know if they like it or not, and I really don't give a fuck. If you want to talk, you got to tell the truth. You can't make up fantasy bullshit. All right, 25.14 gold, silver 29.49. My advice is go buy your silver. I mean, if you can afford it, buy gold now, because it's gonna go to 26. It's gonna go to 3,000. It's gonna go to 5,000. So that's what the market dictates. Not what I say. It's what the market, because gold's been suppressed, and it's gonna go. And if the U.S. can't do the derivatives to keep the price down, the free market price is much more. It's much higher. So again, these guys that don't understand that, silver will never hit 100. Silver's going to hit 1,000. What are you talking about? They won't be able to suppress it. That's why you got the price it has. It's the suppress. It's not the free market. You don't even understand the difference between paper and physical. What an idiot. Anyway, enough of that guy. So let's look at baseball. Good day yesterday. I start off with the JETS, Jets, Mets. Winner, I got Kansas City. Winner, I got Houston over 8. Winner, I have San Diego. Winner, I have the Dodgers under 8. Winner, and the only loser is Oakland over 7.5. I got suckered in because it was such a low. It was kind of weak pitching and a 7.5, but they didn't. I think they got 3. So we go a nice 5-1, which was pretty good. And now here comes 8-20. And let's take a look at today's games. Then we'll go through the college line. There are some injuries that I know about. Texas, their top 2 running backs have been hurt. They're lost for the season. Is that really going to matter? Well, you probably got freshman running backs that are very good that just haven't played, would be my guess. But, in Texas, Ohio State, their backups are very good. They don't recruit, guys who can't play. So is there a big difference between – there would be for Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon is the best running back in the country. If you lose him, you got to go to the backup. You're losing. Texas, I don't know that they're the first teamer is any better than the third or fourth teamer. They're all relying on Ewers, the quarterback. I can't believe Manning is still there. He didn't play last year. He won't play this year. He's going to go. He's going to start crying to Peyton. Oh, they're not playing me because I suck. All right. So night games today. A full house today. All night games. Wow. All right. Starting at, again, the 6:40 game. 6:40, 6:45, 7:05, 7:07, 7:10. What are they? Out of their mind? What's with the staggered start? Nobody watches them anyway. They're not on TV. What are you doing? All right. Arizona, Miami. Arizona's a 157.5. Eduardo Rodriguez, 1-0 with the 5.06. Sounds like a pig. And Edward Cabrera, 2-4, 5.76. Sounds like a pig. I think we had to go over here. Arizona over 7.5. We'll go 2 units. Arizona's been hitting. Miami's been hitting. I got 2 5 ERA pitchers, and I got a 7.5 ERA or 7.5 over under. I don't really get that. Colorado and Washington. Washington 168. Austin Gomer for Colorado. He's pretty bad, isn't he? 3-8 with the 4.82. Washington, DJ Hers, 2-5 with the 2-5 but Colorado's so bad on the road. Washington hits a little. I'm going to lay away. This game should be over, but I'm going to lay away. Cleveland and the Yankees, good series this will be. Yankees 158. Matthew Boyd used to play on the Tigers, 0-0 with the 169. I find that hard to believe. He wasn't that good. And the reason is he's pitched one game. So he's another injured Tiger guy. 5 innings, gave up 3 hits and 1 run against the Cubbies. So I'm not buying. He's a 169. Luis Gill for the Yankees, I don't buy. He's a 3.25. He gave up a lot. Yankees, I don't know. They didn't hit against the Tigers for some reason. So I'm going to go under here just because the Yankees aren't hitting. I love the Yankees over, but in this case, under 8, I don't think Matthew Boyd's a good pitcher, but Gill's the 3.25. We know that Cleveland bullpen will shut you down. Let's go Yankees under 2 units. Nothing big. Cincinnati, Toronto, interesting. I don't know why they still have these interleague matchups. Talk about a game that makes no sense. Cincinnati at Toronto. Who the fuck cares? Toronto 138.5. Carson Spires for Cincinnati, 4-4 at the 4.55. Jose Barrios 11-9 with the 3.85. And again, I just don't see these teams. Where is my thing? Excuse me. Cincinnati on the roads hitting a whopping 234, and Toronto at home's hitting a whopping 243. So I don't know. Is the batting averages meaningful? Does that really help us? Are we going to go under because they're both in the 240 and under? Do I need home runs? Do I need RBIs? Do I need runs scored? I don't know what I need here. I'm going to pass on this, but again, this looks like an over, but I don't know. All right, Baltimore against the Jets's. The Jets are, again, 128.5. Dean Kramer, 5-9 with the 4.48 for Baltimore. Jose Quintana, 6-8 with the 4.26. We're going to go over here. NY Mets over 8.5. The Mets won the game. I think it will go 3 units. Baltimore's not hitting. Dean Kramer, so this is the problem, is now 5-9 with the 4.48. He was better earlier, but now he's not. This game should get over easily with all Baltimore can hit, and the Mets have been hitting pretty good at home. So we'll go over there. Philly and Atlanta, very good series. Philly minus 158.5. Zach Wheeler, you never know what you're going to get from Zach Wheeler. 12-5 with a 2.72. Ronaldo Lopez, 7-4, 2.06. How the hell can you play Philadelphia in an under? This is where I get crossed up. It should be an under with most teams, but Philly is so strong offensively. I hate going under 8.5 in Philly games, although Ronaldo Lopez, let's see if Lopez with his 2.06 has faced Philadelphia. Let's see. You would think he'd have played Philly already. Philly won, or no, they won 6-0. Why is it backwards? 6 innings pitched. He pitched a 2-hitter. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go under here. I will go under. Atlanta under 8.5. No, under 8.5. We'll go 2 units. So this guy we at least have the history where he pitched a 2-hit shutout in 6 innings. Then we get to the bullpen. Atlanta's is a 3.38 bullpen, pretty good. Philly's got a 4.18. So this could be low scoring. Zach Wheeler, 12-5 with the 2.72. That's real. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can stay under 8.5 and hold our breaths on Philadelphia here. You hate to go under with Philly, just like you hate to go under with the Miami Dolphins or the Lions or all these offensive teams with no defenses. You hate going under unless they're playing a very good defense. Milwaukee, St. Louis. This was a beer World Series. Miller against Budweiser. St. Louis 125, 7.5. Frankie Montez 5-8 with the 406. Eric Feedy 8-6 with the 3.40. I'm just going to go St. Louis. 2 units. And you know why I'm going St. Louis? Because Frankie Montez is 5-8, and Eric Feedy's 8-6. So I got the better pitcher with the better ERA. Let's just play him. Pitt against Texas. This was what was this? I didn't play it yesterday. It was good. It actually, I think, was high scoring. I didn't know what to do with it. I don't know if Pitt's high scoring or low scoring unless Gaines is pitching. Texas 145-8. Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh 10-7 with the 3.95. Cody Bradford 4-0 with a 3.50 for Texas. What are you going to do with this game? Again, I'm going to have to leave it alone. Detroit against the Cubs. We have Cubs are 155, 7.5, which means the Tigers are pitching. They're the strangest. They start with the reliever in the first inning and then go to their starter because the starter is not able to start. And so by not starting him, I guess the manager thinks, well, that's a good thing. Then he psychologically he'll never overcome not being able to start. So good strategy. I have no idea. I don't know who the Cubs are pitching, so we'll lay away from that one. Obviously, California and Kansas City. We had Kansas City straight up yesterday, and it won. KC 210-8. Tyler Anderson 9-11 with a 3.30 against Cole Reagans. 10-7 with a 3.18. KC's been hitting the ball pretty good. California has no hitters. A 3.18. Over under 8. Fuck it. I'm going to go KC again. 2 units. Just bet KC to win. I prefer betting the team, but when these pitchers are so bad, it's really hard to, ignore the under in this game for Kansas City. Boston, Houston, we had the over, and it won over 8, and they got 9. Houston won it 5-4, as I anticipated. Houston minus 128.5. Nick Pivetta 5-8 with the 4.49. Ronald Blanco. He no-hit Detroit. After that, he hasn't done too well. 4.49 against 2.89, and high-scoring game yesterday. We're going to go Houston here. We're getting sexy. We're just going to take the teams. 2 units. Pavetta's not very good, so that's why I'm just taking Houston. It should go over unless Bianco. See, I look at it. Bianco will throw another 2-hit shutout. We're never going to get over. If he doesn't, we'll get over. But Houston could still win, so we'll see. Tampa and Oakland. We had Oakland over 7.5. They didn't get there. Same line today. Tampa 127.5. Shane Baz 0-2 with the 4.21 against Joey Estes 5-5 with a 4.72. Again, I would go over. I didn't get close yesterday, so I'm not fucking around with it. You can't go under with these pitchers. So I'm going to just ignore the fact. I'm going to be cognizant of the fact neither of these teams can hit. Minnesota, San Diego, good football game normally. Minnesota 115-8. Bailey over 12-5, 3.49 against Dan Fouts, 3-5 with the 4.62. Martin Perez, 3-5 with the 4.62. We played San Diego yesterday, got the win. Bailey over is a different story though. Martin Perez. Let's go over 8 here. We'll go 2 units. The White Sox against the 49ers in San Francisco. Frisco's 257.5. Davis Martin, 0-1 with a 3 ERA against Robbie Ray, 2-2 with a 6 ERA. Funny how all these guys used to be on the Tigers, and they all sucked on the Tigers. Let's see. This is Davis Martin. This is a White Sox guy. He's a bullpen guy. Well, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, 4 hits and 1 run in 5 innings, a 2-hit shutout in 6, and 3 2/3. He gives up 6 hits and 4 runs. So he's not very good. So I'm not going to trust him. So over. The White Sox can't hit. But I think this is an over. I'm going to lay away from it, but I think it's an over. And the last game is Seattle against the Dodgers or the Seahawks and the Rams. We got the Dodgers 155-9. We got Bryce Miller 9-7 with a 3.29. Walker Buehler, Ferris's father, 1-4 with a 6.02. I like Seattle here. I mean, Jesus. 2 units. All right, let's review. Arizona over 7.5, 2 units. The Yankees under 8, 2 units. The Mets over 8.5, 3 units. Atlanta under 8.5. Against Philly, hold your breath on this one, 2 units. St. Louis, 2 units. KC, 2 units. Houston, 2 units. Seattle, 2 units. And San Diego over 8, 2 units. So I'm staying with the hot teams and going just taking the team to win versus the others. So that is your baseball look today. And we will get to, what are we doing, NFL or college? I don't remember what I put on my title. Let's see if I can edit it. What do I got? I think I got college. NCAA. Okay, so let's go college. It is nice when you actually talk about what you put in your title. I hate when they don't do that, right? They talk something and you're like, where's the talk about this, that, or the other? All right, college football. Now, I have posted my play for the week so that you can go buy it. You'll see the pick. So I'm going to covers because they got 4 different lines. Now I'm going to play the best line. I'm going to bet the best line that I got, but I don't use any of these casinos. They're all ripoffs. All right, so college football. So we got the 2 games this weekend. Florida State 11.5, 55.5, and SMU 27, 56.5. Florida State got Ugly Buglia. I don't know why, as their quarterback. Georgia Tech has Kings, who's 20 times better. Florida State had a great defense last year. We'll see if it's there. Georgia Tech had a 30 defense. It was pretty bad, but I think it was a new coach. Good coach. I like the coach. Look for improvement this year. Their offense was good. Will be even better with the quarterback back. 30 defense bothers me. We'll see what improvements were made. SMU was an 18 last year, a 17 defense, and Preston Stone, their quarterback, is back. He's a good one. Nevada W team, returning quarterback, and a 33 defense, unfortunately. So not sure what you do with the 33 defense. Did they get better now? I just don't see it. Nevada's had some good teams, but now Vegas is better than Nevada. So I'm not seeing this. So we'll have to see what's going on. Those are your two Saturday games. I played one of them, and I played it with a game the following week. So that's what's posted, and then I will add the following week's games probably this week or this weekend. You wait for injury. Like I found out that Texas, both their running backs are out. I didn't know that. I just found that out the other day. So therefore, I'm going to be I'm going to want to see that. That's what I'm waiting for. That's why sometimes you wait a little bit. So those are the Saturday games. Now we go to the 29th. Oh my God. Do they know? Do they know I'm teaching? Well, I do. I show them that's why I show them the picture to show them I'm teaching. All right, Minnesota 2.5, 50.5 over North Carolina. Both teams had a 27 defense, and both teams have new quarterbacks. North Carolina never has a defense. Somehow they get these quarterbacks that aren't very good. Wasn't it Trubisky? Did he play North Carolina, or was that Thurston Howell the third? One of them is North Carolina, I think. Trubisky might have been Pittsburgh. I don't see why you get excited. I was talking to a guy in the hot tub about Caleb today, and I go, he was like 4-8, the team last year. Why would you be excited about that? He didn't win in college with the best offense he could be at. So I'm like, what are you seeing about Caleb that you think he's so good? I mean, if you can't win in college against a lesser competition, although I would say the Pac-10 had as much pro competition as anybody, but that's what I see is you just don't, I don't get all excited. I was just killing this guy in the hot tub. I loved it. Oh, the Lions suck. Golf sucks. Hooker should be the court. And the guy's turning red, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking with you, but I'm enjoying it. I'm the professor. Let's see. Jacksonville State 3.5, 56.5 to Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is a 25. Their quarterback's back, but it's not great. It's not McCall anymore. Jacksonville State, a 20 defense and a new quarterback, and Rich Rodriguez, the West Virginia coach, is their coach. So they should be able to score. I'm surprised with the 20 defense, but it was their first year in the league, so who knows? Let's see what they are. This is what so you want to watch that game for quarterbacks, defense, all that stuff. Now here's a game I want you to see if you can get. Utah's 37.5, 52.5 to Southern Utah. If by some way you can bet this game, take Utah. I'm not betting it. I don't have that line, but I do see the line. I do have the line here on covers. So if you are in a casino that has this line, or this is on FanDuel, it's not on the other three, then I would bet Utah. Yeah. Michigan State 11.5, 46.5 to Florida Atlantic. All new for Michigan State. They got the Oregon State quarterback and coach. Look for them to be much, much improved. Florida Atlantic 25 defense and a new transfer quarterback. So State gets Childs, who didn't play any for Oregon State. So I don't really know what you're getting. I think they'll be better coached. They'll have a better defense. They'll have that Oregon State defense. They'll be focusing to beat Michigan, but they should show a lot of improvement in Michigan State. Oklahoma 42.5, 59.5 to Temple. Oklahoma with the 22 defense, new quarterback. He's one of these, dual threat. It means he can't throw, he can run. So he's the athlete, not what you want. Temple, a Z team with the 36 defense and a new quarterback who's weak. Kurt Warner's son was there last year, did pretty good, and he left. So he's gone. So I don't see Temple doing a lot in this game, but I don't know what Oklahoma. I think we'll have a good defense. I'm not sure what their offense with the new guy. He might look good in this game against this defense, but if he had to play Texas, that Texas would kill him. All right. Wisconsin, 24-56.5. We've got a 19 defense for Wisconsin is par. Luke Fickell will get that better. Western Michigan, a 32 defense. A new transfer for Western, and Tyler Van Dyke is now Wisconsin's quarterback, so I'm looking for a lot there. Mordecai was last year, who was very good at SMU, looked very good for the Niners on Sunday, was their quarterback last year. And he didn't do much, but I don't think they knew what to do with him. They're trying to run a run and shoot or a, air raid, but the guy didn't know what he was doing, the coach. So we'll see. Hopefully it's better with Van Dyke. He's a pro, Van Dyke, absolutely. TCU, 7.5, 61.5 to Stanford. TCU's an over team, 27 defense. Stanford's a Z team, 37 defense. Both quarterbacks coming back. Stanford's is not very good. TCU should be trying to revenge for having a bad year last year because they got to the title game. Unfortunately, they had to play Georgia, and Georgia put the can of whoop ass on them. So I'll look for TCU to probably score a lot in this game with Stanford's 37 defense, but we'll see what Stanford does. Again, they've been pretty shitty, terrible coaching. All right, now we are on the 31st, which is Saturday. We got Georgia 49.5 to Clemson. Georgia, we know the 16 defense should be about 12 or 11 this year. Clemson with the 20 defense, I'm not sure. They have Dabo Sweeney back, but not much else. Quarterback's pretty weak. Georgia's got a good quarterback. We know Georgia's the A team. Clemson is not an A team. I think Georgia just smothers them here with their defense. The game's in Atlanta. Again, Georgia 16 defense, Clemson at 20. And both quarterbacks are back. Virginia Tech 13.5, 53.5 to Vanderbilt. Both teams. Vanderbilt has Pavia, my quarterback from New Mexico State, who was really good last year. Virginia Tech Drones is back for them this year. Virginia Tech with a 24 defense, Vanderbilt with a 36 last year. So again, we have nothing else to go. We start with last year's and then we adjust it to this year's. A lot of these teams playing the high school teams, we'll have to wait another week until we can start using them. All righty. Let's go. Maryland 47.5 over UConn. UConn with a 30 defense, Maryland with a 23, and both teams have new quarterbacks. Maryland always underachieves. Connecticut's been terrible. We'll see if they get any better. I mean, who's going to Connecticut, really? For basketball, but not for football. Pitt 24-54. Kent is a Z team, 35 defense. Pitt, not much better, 27 defense. And both teams have new quarterbacks. So we will see. Even Kenny Pickett, who played 4 years, who looked decent his senior year, does nothing in the pros. So they don't really get good quarterbacks since Dan Marino. That was in what? The early 80s. So Pitt, not a quarterback college. So we'll look out, which is funny because all the good quarterbacks were from Pennsylvania. Johnny Unitas, Len Dawson, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, and I think I'm missing one. There was another one, Joe Montana, I believe. I believe I said that. But those were Pennsylvania guys. There was just something in the water. Joe Namath, right? Yeah. Anyway, we will see. So, it's hard to play Pitt against the Z team because they just don't have a good offense. Are they going to score enough? We don't know. We have to see. Good game. Penn State 10, 51.5 against West Virginia. Both quarterbacks are back. Penn State had an 11 defense, except for when it came up to Michigan and Ohio State. West Virginia with the 28 defense played a much higher caliber teams in the Big 12. Oklahoma, Texas, Oak State, Texas Tech, TCU. So for them to have a 28 is fine. I still don't understand why they're in the Southwest Conference when they got to travel to Texas or Oklahoma every other week. Seems really stupid. But anyway, 28 defense against 11. It's a revenge game. West Virginia got beat pretty bad at Penn State, and this is their chance. I think this should be a real good game. Miami, 2.5, 54 to Florida, in Florida. Wrong team's favorite here. Florida should be a 3-point favorite. I don't get this. Miami with the 22 defense, Florida with the 27. Florida's quarterback's back. He's very good. Miami gets Cam Ward from Washington State, who is way overrated. You know, he was good at Incarnadian Ward or whatever the hell you want to call it. And he ran a lot, but now he's got a pass, and with these coaches, he's really fucked. I don't see how Miami's favored here. That's insane. UTSA 24-49.5 to Canisius State. Canisius State was Division I or Division II last year. You have nothing on them. UTSA finally lost Frank Harris after 15 years as quarterback. So they both have new quarterbacks. Even Tennessee State has a new quarterback. So we got to watch. We got to learn. Big Nebraska, 27.5, 48.5 to Utah. I call them Big Nebraska because when I was working at the grocery store, giving football picks in the 70s, I'd bet my games and I'd win, and everybody would come to me for picks. So I'd give Nebraska because that was with Turner Gill and that team, and they'd always put up 50 points. And so my friend in produce would bet Nebraska, and he won every week. I don't know if I bet Nebraska that much. And they, 56-0, and he's all excited. And so he'd call them Big Nebraska because they'd put up a big number. So I always laugh at that. So Nebraska with an 18 defense, UTEP with the 28. Both the UTEP quarterback's back. Nebraska's got a new one who is a freshman. We'll have to see. I think Nebraska will be a under team. I don't think they'll score a lot, and they'll have a good defense. Matt Rule's been a good defensive coach. UTEP, who knows? They're not very good. Here's the surprise. UMass, 349.5 to Eastern Michigan. Eastern was favored. Now UMass given 3 points. I'm not quite sure I understand that line. They had a 38 defense, and Eastern had a 24. Eastern was not a bad MAC. They weren't the top of the MAC, but they were in the middle. Their quarterback, they got a transfer quarterback. UMass has a returning one who's not very good. Again, it's the 38 defense of UMass. And the fact they're favored, I scratch my head. That's definitely a shake my head, Bobby. Beloved Ohio State, 50 and 58.5 to Akron. Ohio State had an 11 defense and Akron a 28. And both teams have new transfer quarterbacks, although I like Will Howard for Ohio State a lot better than the Akron ones. I think Ohio State's going to murder them because they've lost to Michigan 3 times in a row. They cannot lose. They can't lose this game, but they got to get off. Will Howard, get him going. Chip Kelly, the new offensive coordinator from UCLA, from Oregon, from the Eagles. We all know he can coach offense, can't coach defense. So we will see. But I think we're looking at an early third quarter score here, 50. We will see. Northwestern 4-43 to Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio's have got their quarterback back and a very good MAC team. Northwestern was a decent Big 15 team or whatever you want to call them now. So not bad. New quarterback for Northwestern. Like I said, Miami's is returning. Miami had a 16 defense, Northwestern 24. This should be a very good game. I would think close. This Jimmy the Creek would say, it's this close. A field goal game. He used to say that he couldn't get picks out. So if you watch him, and he really liked the Raiders. He always was a Raider fan, and the spread would be 7, and he'd go, it'd be this close. Without telling you to bet him, he's saying, yeah, it's closer than they think. The bookmakers have it wrong here. I loved it. He used to do team speed. How the fuck do you know how fast these guys are? Syracuse, 17.5, 47.5 with the Ohio State quarterback that sucked last year. Syracuse is the 24 defense. Ohio, not bad, a 15 defense, but they have a new quarterback. So Syracuse gets McCord, who sucked at Ohio State. Ohio gets a new one. We don't know if he's the starter or the guy backing up last year. This is the problem with the MAC. All their guys that are any good transfer to the Big 10 or the Big 12 or whatever you call it now. And so it's hard to keep their good players. So we'll see. But pretty good defense, Ohio. Good coach, 15 defense to Syracuse, who's not that good, 24. So we will see. Indiana, 20.5, 50.5 to Florida International. Indy had a 30 defense last year. Florida International 32. Florida International gets the quarterback back. Indy gets, I think, McLeod, I think from James Madison or one of those schools, a pretty good quarterback. I got him as a new transfer, who's good. They also got the James Madison coach, who's very good. Look for their 30 defense to come down, and Florida International at the 32. I think Indy with the new coach, I don't know how long it's going to take to get him going. I mean, I think he wants to pour it on the first to say, hey, look, I'm here. But we'll see. I think that's the goal would be to pile it on, but we'll see. We'll see if they can. Texas, 35-59. I don't know why this line hasn't moved if they've lost their first 2 running backs. So keep in mind, Texas lost their running backs. They have the quarterback. They have the receiver. They pretty good defense. We'll see. Texas with the 17 defense. Colorado State with the 30. Both teams return their quarterback. So how bad is the loss of their running backs? That we'll find out. I don't think that bad. I think Texas, their 3rd and 4th and 5th running backs are pretty good too. Georgia Southern, Boise. Boise 12-57 to Georgia Southern. Boise had a 25 defense. Georgia Southern a 30. Both got new quarterbacks. Now I have here that they've got the freshman from USC. He ain't starting. Their backup from last year beat them out. Georgia Southern has a new quarterback who is a freshman. So Boise not going with the USC transfer. But he was a freshman, so this will be curious. See, that's what I'm saying. When you get the 3rd stringers, USC, so the guy, obviously, Caleb, and then the guy from the bowl game, and now the UNLV guy goes there. This guy couldn't beat out the UNLV guy. UNLV guy, I think, is going to start. So look for so Boise's interesting. They're going to be a big running team this year, Boise. Georgia Southern, we don't know what they're going to be. So again, with that 30 defense, this will be an interesting game. South Carolina, Old Dominion. South Carolina, 20.5, 54.5. I have no idea. South Carolina, new quarterback. Rattler's gone. Old Dominion keeps theirs, but he wasn't very good. Both teams with 26 defenses. I have no idea. There's no way I'd take South Carolina in late 20.5. Although there's no way I'd take Old Dominion in 20.5 either. Over under, I have no idea. You need good quarterbacks. We don't know what that is with South Carolina. So good game to watch the box score. South Alabama against North Texas. South Alabama 5.5, 65. Now, I read this yesterday, so very interesting. North Texas explosive team with no defense, 37 defense. South Alabama, 22 defense. I see they have a returning freshman quarterback, but he ain't starting. The starter is going to be one of these studs. I can't remember the name, but I just read it yesterday. This is going to be a high-scoring game. North Texas can score. Okay, they're the over team, North Texas. Don't get them confused with Texas State and UTSA and UTEP and all the little Texas schools. So this is the explosive team with no defense. In South Alabama, it was an A team, but their new quarterback, he can pass. So yeah, we'll see high numbers in this one. Houston 1.5, 54.5 to UNLV. UNLV lost their quarterback to Vegas to USC. Houston's is back, but they'd rather have lost him. He's not very good. They get Willie Fritz, the Tulane coach, had him undefeated, is now the Houston coach. So look for Houston to be much improved. Vegas with the 27 defense, but they were an explosive team. They were an over. Houston with the 31 defense, they weren't an explosive team. They kind of sucked. So look for Willie Fritz to put it in. How many games is it going to take for Houston to be a stud team? Troy, 15-47 to Nevada, who we'll see against SMU in the first week. Troy, 16, 46.5. They're 15 down, going down. They get the terrible coach from Notre Dame, the offensive coordinator that fucked up Hartman. They had a 17 defense, but again, the coach is gone versus Nevada with the 33. I bet Troy becomes a very bad team this year. Where Houston's going to be much improved, Troy's going to be much terrible. The guy from Notre Dame didn't know what he was doing. That's like drafting a defensive coordinator from New England. Yeah, let's see if this one knows what he's doing. So you've got a 33 defense with Nevada and a 17 with Troy and a terrible coach. So don't expect a lot from – we'll take App State over Troy all day. Alabama, 31-59.5 to Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky with a 28 defense. Alabama, 18 under Saban, but we don't look at him. DeBoer was a 23 last year at Washington. Again, they had to play Oregon twice in Oregon State and Washington State, UCLA, Utah, SC. They had to play a big bunch of teams. So they beat USC like 52-42 or something like that. So keep that in mind. So Alabama should score. DeBoer's a great offensive coach. Kind of surprised he went to Alabama, where he could have went and coached the Seattle Seahawks. I'd have been betting them to make the playoffs, but I don't know. He's at Alabama, strange, because he's not a good old Southern boy. So figure a 23 defense, a 60 over under. Again, Milrose is back. Western Kentucky gets a new transfer quarterback who's good because Western Kentucky is always a good passing team with gets good quarterbacks. They have another one. Rice against Sam Houston State. Rice 10-49 to Sam Houston. They both had 26 defense. Sam Houston's a very low-scoring team. Rice gets a new transfer, and Sam Houston gets a new quarterback. I don't know. Very hard to bet this game. Michigan minus 21.5, 48 to Fresno State. We got Mikey Keene back for Fresno State, and a good coach, good defense, 25 defense. Michigan, I don't buy this 10 defense. They get a new quarterback, new coach, new running back, new offensive line, new defensive coordinator, new defense. So you think they're going to be just as strong as they were last year? I doubt it very seriously. I see them losing up to at least 5 games. They got to play Texas, USC, Washington, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan State. They in big trouble this year. They won the title last year because they had the easiest schedule in the world. It was a joke. And they ain't going to do shit for a long time. I don't know. Fresno State will give them a ball game. I guarantee you that. I remember when Michigan played Army a few years ago, and I took Army in 25 points, and Army should have won the game. It was like 14-all at the goal line for Army, and the guy jumps, does a motion. They end up having to kick a field goal. Michigan scored, no time left to win, like 21-17 or something like that. Army should have beaten them. That's when Army had some good teams, so I love that one. A&M and Notre Dame. A&M 2.5, 46.5. Another strong game of the week. Notre Dame with the 17 defense. A&M with the 21. Riley Leonard, the new Notre Dame quarterback. I don't get it. He's not very good. He was 3 touchdowns and 3 picks last year. He runs a lot. Not a good quarterback. A&M has their guy back, Wegman. Nice. The game is at, where's it at? Jerry Jones? Probably at Jerry World, I would guess. It's got a Texas team in there. Very good game, very competitive, and I don't think you'll see a lot of points there. UCLA 13, 55.5. Let's see UCLA without their coach and without their defensive coordinator, how they're going to be this year. Although they were smart, the running backs coach is the head coach, and the defensive line coach is the defensive coordinator. They might not fall off that much. Quarterback Garber is back. 18 defense for UCLA. They had a very strong defense. Hawaii 32 had a typical Hawaii defense. Both quarterbacks are back. I don't know. We'll have to see Hawaii at home. Have they learned how to block enough for them to score on a UCLA? UCLA, and you got to travel to Hawaii, and it's pretty girls and beaches, so you got to get that out of your mind. So but it's UCLA. They got pretty girls and beaches there, so I don't think it'll have the same effect on them as it would a team from the Midwest, like Ohio or Michigan or Purdue or something. Kentucky 26-50.5 to Southern Miss. Who the hell knows? Kentucky gets a new quarterback. Southern Miss gets a new transfer. They lose Frank Gore Jr., who was the running back. Who was a good running back. He's gone. I think he's at Buffalo now. Kentucky with the 25 and Southern Miss with the 36 on defense. Good luck with that one. I think we'll be betting a lot against Southern Miss, but not with this Kentucky team. Georgia Tech, 21-57 to Georgia State. Both teams had a 30 defense. Again, I expect Georgia Tech to get better. Kings is back for Georgia Tech. Very good quarterback. Georgia State gets a new transfer, so we'll have to wait and see if he's any good. James Madison against Charlotte. James Madison 7-51.5. New transfer quarterback from Washington for James Madison. Charlotte, a new quarterback. Charlotte kind of blew last year. They had a 28 defense. James Madison 18, but the coach is now at Indiana. So how many players did he take and what's he going to have? And yes, he's got the transfer quarterback from Washington who sucked. You basically get Washington's third-string quarterback, but he's from Washington. Like, who gives a fuck? So we'll see how the new coach is. With the old coach, this is all James Madison. With this guy, we don't know. Arizona State, 6.5, 47.5 to this line's up from 46. Arizona State, not very good. 32 defense and a Wyoming with the 23. Wyoming's been a pretty good defensive team. A new quarterback, Wyoming, and Arizona State's got a new transfer who's a freshman. So he's probably one of these athlete dual quarterbacks who can't throw 5 yards. So we will see. I don't know if Arizona State can win this game, although Wyoming's got a new quarterback also. So we'll see. Arizona 30-54.5. Fajita is back. Outstanding. Their wide receiver is back. Outstanding. The coach moved on to Oregon State or Washington, one of the two. I think he moved to Washington. That's in my other notes. They had a 20 defense. They held Caleb to nothing the first half. Caleb it was 28 all at the end of the game, and they had to go to overtime against Caleb. So he struggled mightily against them. I think they had to run the ball a lot. He couldn't complete too many passes. Wyoming New Mexico with the 35 defense, they sucked. A new quarterback. Arizona 20 defense, and again Fajita is back. So I think Arizona is going to have a field day here, depending on the new coach what he does. USC LSU, Bobby's play of the week. We got LSU at 6 and a 63.5 over under. LSU had a 28 defense last year. It wasn't very good. USC struggled with their 35. They bring in the UCLA defensive coordinator to try to get it to a 18, but I doubt very seriously that's going to do it. They couldn't do it with Monty Kiffin, the Tampa Bay defense. He was giving up 60 points a game, so I'm not sure. I think at the end of the day, you need talent. So if you give Luke Jackson or Phil Jackson, my apologies, you give Phil Jackson Jordan and Pippen or Shaq and Kobe, he's going to win. Give him the fucking Pistons roster from last year. Yeah. Does he win 20 games before quitting? So it's easy with good players. The question is, how is the guy going to do with shit? So we'll see. But LSU, this should be another one of those who gets the ball last, scores the last touchdown, wins. And our last game is Florida State after they play on the 24th, play now a week later. They're 21.5, 51.5 to Boston College, who's pretty weak. Quarterback's back, but he's weak. They had a 30 defense. Florida State with a 16 defense, as we know. And Uglia Buglia. What are you going to do with Uglia Buglia? How can you bet this guy? He's terrible. So that's your last game. Picks are one teaser's posted already, and of this I've got about 10 games that I like, which I will post soon. And don't worry, when you buy from me, it overlaps. So it's not, week 1 is not just these 2 games. Week 1 is this whole slate. So if you pay for it, you get the password, you'll go in both weeks. Or if you come to the show, that'll cover both weeks. You don't have to worry about, if I buy the password, I only get 2 games, and then I got to buy it again for all the others. No, you buy for the class, you get the whole slab I just gave you, all you can eat buffet. And if you buy from the picks, I'm not gonna. That's ridiculous. Now at the end, when there's 2 games left for the championship, then you get 2 games, but not now. Yeah, I loved it. I had Ella fucking Bama as a dog against Michigan. That you never see that too often. How Michigan won is with Milrose and his fumble, but Alabama should have won. And that bad interference, that interception the first play of the game. That's your boy J.J. McCarthy. Big game, throws an interception the first play. And then they call him out of bounds. Like, yeah, really? Never did see a good replay of that. So there you have it, my friends. Up to the moment, we will keep going with it. Today's Tuesday, so we will go back and look at it probably Thursday we'll review the lines, and then Saturday morning, if you buy the class, we'll probably do that Friday, and then Saturday morning we'll do a quick class. I mean, there's 2 games. We'll see, but I've already made the pick. The pick is in. All right, anything else? Perfect, a good hour, and now I can go to economics, which I will do, and I will leave you. So I don't know, I need your feedback. Is this better to just do this and then come back and do economics, or is it better to do them all at once? I think for me it might be better to break them, because I can kind of get catch a breath and come back for it. So baseball again, Arizona over 7.5, the Yankees under 8, the Mets over 8.5, Atlanta under 8.5, St. Louis, Kansas City, Houston and Seattle straight. Just take those teams, and San Diego over 8. So that's your baseball today. Yesterday 5-1, a great day. Oakland couldn't score 7 runs off of a 5 ERA pitcher, really. Last weekend we hit our teaser. I didn't bet it, but I gave it. New Orleans in 7, and Stenson Benson and the Rams plus 8.5. That won. Just a little sample of how the professor works. And that's about it. So have a good day, everybody. And I will be right back to do economics. But I'll leave you with our gold number, as we always like to do. 25.11. So it got up to 25.14. So it got up to 25.29, down to 25.05, back to 25.14, and now 25.11. So we're doing good. We're staying above 25, and today's going to be, yesterday it really shot up, and today it got to 25.29. So we're ready to make the next move up. They're still buying it. Nobody's profit taking. Nobody's selling their gold. Nobody's consolidating. It's all derivative. We're living in the derivative world. That's it. So when it gets too high, they do a put option and chase it down, knowing that how much can you buy at one time. So you're taking a break from your buying, and as you're getting ready for new buying, they're gonna short it down, and then and they don't mind, because now they can buy it cheaper. They can buy it at 25.11. All right. So I guess that's it. College football again. The picks are in. So www.teaserking.com, and you can either buy the class, $25 for college, $25 for pro, or you can buy the picks. Again, it's just a college week, so you could do your choice. You could watch the class or buy the pick, your choice. But if you want to buy the year or buy the month, it does make sense to buy maybe from the site. But either way, it's not like you're paying a lot for the class here. All right. Have a good day, everybody. I'll be right back with economics, gold, silver, bricks, COMEX, and clean up all the banking issues and all the other stuff. All right. Take care, everybody.